got ourselves a Horcott Carp.
Well, Mr. Lister, Horcott Lakes, and it's great to be on the bank with you again.
Well, hopefully we can have another repeat of the last one that we had as well.
Oh yeah, winter set was something special, weren't it? But the stock's certainly in here for us to go at.
Mate, I think there's over 800 fish in here.
Yeah, and there's some mega ones as well, isn't there?
Definitely. I can't wait.
No, and I think Lee, the owner, he's coming down. He's going to show us a few areas and stuff like that, but then he's also going to fish for us, I think. So.
Well, at least if we don't catch.
Yeah, that's exactly. Pressure's up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, 22 acres and the place is gorgeous, isn't it? It really is a proper gravel pit again, isn't it? You know?
Yeah. I mean, we've had a good walk round, haven't we? Done a nice lap round the lake. Seen a few fish topping as well, which is always a good start. And I think it's time to get the rods out there.
Yeah, well, I know what swim you're choosing.
The one with the fish, you know.
Come on, dog, let's beat him. Right, so obviously arriving here, we had a lap around the lake, and there was a few anglers, not many, a couple in the car park area, a few over there, and Lee had said sort of a lot of at the top end and sort of round to the point was where we should head. So we sort of stood on the point and quite liked it really, didn't we?
It's just got it all, hasn't it? Lots of water, lots of views of different areas of the lake as well.
Oh, you can see a hell of a lot, can't you?
Yeah. So it made sense to us, didn't it? I mean, there was a couple of anglers situated. We didn't quite want to be in the middle just in case. And you know what it's like, you set up over there, the fish are going to top over here, isn't it? So we should be bouncing them about a little bit, and yeah, fingers crossed it works in our favour.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. I mean, and again, you got to listen to Lee, he's known this place for a long time. But yeah, so we'll, I suppose, divvy up the swim and see what we want to do rod-wise, really. Yeah,
for me, I'm just going to take it easy. I know we've got a bit of time, we've got a bit of filming to do, bits and pieces, but it's just about seeing where the fish are first. So my plan of attack will be solid bags to start with. Any signs of fish, or just keep plopping them around every now and then, see if I can nick one, and then go from there. Then hopefully, if we can nick one early, we might be able to build up the swim and start getting a bit of spot out. I feel like they want a bit of grub. I've got plenty.
I'd like to think so. Like I say, you said earlier, there's 800 odd fish or so in there, some big weights and all, and they've got to eat, you know. It's as simple as that. So again, I'm not overly keen in solid bags. I think I'll definitely put 2 on the spot, maybe not going heavy to begin with. And then the other one I might just roam out as well throughout the water. So yeah, get the rods out and see what happens, yeah?
Get it on. Is that in? Right then, so I took my time setting up and waited for a few shows and chopped this rod out, a nice solid PVA bag, thinking I was just a little bit short, and yeah, we've got a little bit of work to do, and all of a sudden it's just absolutely teared off. So we are playing our first fish, which is always quite nice. And it's just odd little plods. It was all I'm getting at the moment, so fingers crossed we can get off the mark, and a great start to the day really. It's one of them, you enjoy the moment playing them, but for your first one on a new venue, you kind of just want to get it in the net and be done with it, but it's wallowing out on the surface now. I'll be holding up a nice Horcott, stunning fish, because that's the beauty of this place. There is some absolute mega fish in here to go at. It's just heads down. There's a bit of a weed bed just in front of me, and it's like It's obviously just got its head in and its tail's bouncing. Ah, come on. This way, please. Job's a good one.
That's my net.
And set my net up. Job done now. Well, what a way to kickstart the session here at Horcott. My first fish, the solid bag hadn't been in that long, and admittedly the cast went a little bit short, but I was like, no, I'm just going to leave it for a bit, and I'm glad I did, because this 24 pound and 4 ounce beauty picked it up, and yeah, hopefully a sign of things to come. It's angry, I'm going to slip it back. Yeah, let's see if we can get another one.
Well, Mr. Lister has had one and lost one. I've had nothing. So I've got 2 out on a spot, and I've put bait over them. I've probably 8 or so spoms all in total. And I have been roaming a bag round, but I don't know, I'm sitting, it's quite high pressure, the sun's out, and I know he's caught on the bottom obviously, but I can't help but think I need to put a zig out. So just for the one rod, I'm gonna ping a zig out. I can keep moving it like I was doing the bags, and I'll be fishing over the weed. It's gonna be about 3 foot. I think where I am, you're sort of looking at max 6 foot depth. But yeah, just try something different really. Yeah, one's got to go out on a zig, little bit of black foam, and fingers crossed, produces the goods. But yeah, if not, I'll take some lovely pictures of Alex. Well, good morning. That was a carp just out there on the back of that wind line. So, yeah, as I said, good morning. Don't know if it's a good morning, to be honest, but it is morning. Very uneventful night for everyone, I think, on this side anyway. Not a lot happening. So I'm just bringing in a rather weeded zig rig, and I'm gonna have a flick out. And today we drew a lot of rain. So all I'm gonna do is find a spot out there, a bit further out, I think. Them ones are about 18.5 wraps. I've just clipped up to 25, which is 100 yards. See what I can find, and I'm actually going to put out a bit of bait because I haven't seen much other than that one in my water. And short of moving, the only way I can bring to eat is hopefully feed them, get some scent in the water, and I might have something. Oh, that don't look good. Weed everywhere. So yeah, see what happens. Get some bait out, get fed, see what the day has to bring. It's very bitty weed out there, I think. Well, I'm having a little lead about just with a bare lead on a braided rod, because Horcott has got somewhere. A lot of people say, oh, it's very weedy, it's unfishy. It's not, it's far from it. It's your typical gravel pit. There is clumps of weed, and then there's obviously a lot of gravel in between there. And as we saw on the drone yesterday, some of the spots are really big, others are quite small. So I'm just trying to find something a little bit clearer that I can pull across. It ain't got to be massive. So I generally think what you find this end is always a lot bigger out there. But just trying to find something I can sort of put a bit of bait. We've got 24 hours left at our disposal, and I want to try and draw them in. So. Right hand up.
Well, what has been a rather wet day today, this one has certainly brightened things up a little bit. The scales on it is just absolutely incredible, and what an absolute stun. I'm chuffed with that. Now, I owe Dan this fish because he saw one top to the right, out went a solid bag, a few boilies over the top, and this rod just absolutely rattled off. At Horcott, you've got a leader band. So the way I've overcome this, you've got to use tubing. So what I've done is, rather than have all my bags tied up at home, I'm just tying them up as and when I need them on the bank. And what I've done is I've tied the main line direct to the corder stem and then the tubing over the top, and I've just locked it in place with a little sleeve. And that has done the business for me. And each time you catch a fish, you just tie another one and cast it out. So that is it, nice and simple. So with other anglers turning up, and the disturbance factor, I went to just pinging out boilies. Just in that way I can keep the disturbance down to a minimum, keep topping up the swim. They've been on the feed. I don't think they've been massively on it, but they have certainly, since we've been introducing it, it's been working a treat. So, and once I've done that, I moved over. I then matched the hatch really with a wafter in the PVA bag, and that seemed to do the trick for me. It worked a little bit better, and I was getting a steady run of bites. So long may it continue.
Go on now.
How about that for an absolute immaculate common? Now it's funny how a session can go, because the rain, it was looking dull, it just wasn't quite happening. One sighting is all it needs, and Dan's got eagle eyes, and luckily for me, the fish was in my swim, so I've ended up chucking to it, and now that has produced me my second fish of the day. Yeah, and that is just what it's all about, keeping an eye out on the lake, seeing where they show you, and just get a rod on it ASAP because it's worked. And right, time to get it back. Couple more bags tied, and out we go for another go.
Well, Lee, firstly, thanks for having us, mate.
No problem at all.
Well, I mean, we're halfway through our session and thoroughly enjoying it. I mean, Alex has had one, lost one. I'm yet to put anything on the bank, but there's still time, and it looks good, doesn't it? What about the lake then? Talk to me. How long have you had Horcott?
I think I've been here roughly 13, 14 years.
Wow, okay.
It's obviously some time.
Okay, so was there an existing stock of carp when you took it over? Or?
There was a few, but not many at all.
Right, okay. So it's been a very ongoing process with yourself?
Yeah, yeah.
And what about sort of strains and sizes? What did you get for here, if you like? Because obviously, did you have, what you've got now is a mega Cotswold venue. It's full of real nice scaly fish, a good mix. You've got plenty of commons to go at as well. Did you have that in mind, or is it very much just a case of whatever you could get your hands on, or, you know?
No, I think at the time we sort of recommended some fish
Okay.
from Fisher's Pond, mainly because how scaly they were. Sort of like nice fish for the area, that type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
Partly why we went with those. Obviously they grow very, very quickly.
I was going to say, the growth rates must have been phenomenal, because you've got quite a lot of 30-pounders now, haven't you?
Probably over 40 different.
Wow, yeah, okay.
30-pounders at the moment. Probably a few more at the right time of year.
And the lake record?
Just over 41.
Oh, lovely. That's all I need. That's what I said. Alex can do numbers, but if I can nick one and it's one of them better ones, I'll be chuffed. So the lake itself is 22 acres in size.
That's right, yep.
And swim-wise, there's
45 swims,
and everyone's got a lot of space.
Oh, loads of room. Yeah, loads of room.
The way the nature it's set out and the weed beds that we've seen as well, there's quite a lot of opportunities in close. So it isn't just for big casters either, is it?
No, that's right. I think most of the swims cater for any ability, of angler. Be it if you want to fish the margins, you're always in with a chance. If you want to fish long range, you're always in with a chance.
So yeah, I mean, it really is a lovely gravel pit as well, isn't it? You've got the weed, you've got gravel, and the clarity, it's gin clear. And you said this isn't the clearest it's been either.
No, it literally goes like tap water, especially in the winter time.
But I suppose that shows in the condition of the fish as well.
Yes, definitely, yeah, 100%.
And then what about for anglers that haven't come in before? What's it sort of your go-to methods or top tips? Is there any areas people need to concentrate on, or?
I'd say the top tip has got to be watercraft. Like, just spend your time looking, even if 3 or 4 hours walking around, try and find the fish. Once you actually get on the fish, they're not actually that difficult to catch.
Yeah, okay.
It's just location is key.
And then what about people that aren't so confident fishing in weed?
There's a lot of anglers that fish solid bags just because they're so consistent and produce the fish.
Of course.
Small beds of bait do work.
Yeah.
But I think if you're coming here for the first time, just have a good lead around. I would say within 20-30 casts, you should find a clear spot.
And you've got sort of a tackle shop on site as well, with a few bits.
Yeah, we've got a tackle shop. There's just the essentials, hooks, leads, that type of thing.
Yeah, and then obviously pellet they can buy from you as well.
Yeah, do a selection of bait, cold drinks.
Yeah, and I did hear you talking to Alex last night actually, with regards to if people catch a special fish, you will not only come and do photos because you're very good with a camera, but then they can also buy it framed off you as well, is that right?
That's right, yeah. So we offer a service, like if you catch a 30-pounder, you win 24 hours, as long as you call us. To come out, verify it, we'll take the pictures for you, so you get some really nice images. And if you want, we can also put it in a frame for you to take away.
Oh, excellent. Fingers crossed, hear that, dog? That one's going to go, and we're going to get ourselves a free 24-hour session. So, in terms of carnage, Alex has had another 2 fish, great angling. He's been fishing around this bay and there's a lot of pressure come around the rest of the lake and we think it's just sort of pushed the fish that way. So he's fishing in quite close there, sort of about 11 wraps, something like that. Again, there's a bit of weed, but there is smoother sort of channels throughout that. So after his second fish, he's decided enough is enough and I've got to try and catch one. So we're still currently arguing at the moment about fishing his spot he was fishing because that don't sit right with me. But as we stood over there, about to have a lead around, a fish come out twice, sort of further round to the right of the bay, and I can hit it from that next swim. So what I'm going to do is get 2 bags out, dare I say it. Not the greatest bag angler in the world by any stretch. And yeah, hopefully it produces the goods. So I think 2 rods around there with bags, fairly close. Again, just out of the pressure really, and we'll see what happens. And then I think Alex is going to concentrate his efforts out in the middle of the pond. And fingers crossed he still puts the 3rd rod on the spot that's done the 2 bites. I reckon he should, you reckon he should, it's a no-brainer, but he's trying to be polite. And we all know he's not polite, so we'll see. Whew. Just getting my 3rd rod out. I've kept 1 in the swim that I'm in 16, in 17, 10 yards down the bank. The solid bags that I put out not too long ago after we put Alex's fish back, it's just gone. We weren't expecting it, so much so that we heard the receiver go and we both sort of looked at each other and didn't know what was happening. And I peered around the corner and this was away. So it's going to play it in very tentatively now. There's a bit of weed out here still, and I'm fishing. Unlike Alex, I'm not dropping the lead, so I'm keeping the lead on. And because I haven't caught one, I'm quite nervous. So I'm I'm going to do my best and try and get this in. Come on, baby. Oh, don't you just love it? Wow. My first bite from Horcott, and a very welcome one at that as well. Absolutely made up with that. What I'm going to do is I'm losing the light. I'm going to get him back, and yeah, we'll see if we can get another one. But yeah, so happy.
Well, Mr. Morrell.
Good evening, Mr. Lister. Another night draws in. Yeah, last night on Horcott, and I really enjoyed it.
It's been an interesting one, hasn't it? Because it's like, I mean, today's been pretty grim with the weather, and it just looked quite quiet, didn't it? But
yeah,
you know, I think you just found the code to unlocking it a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that. I mean, you've had a great performance. It has been tough. The fish, they've been real congregated, haven't they? And we've definitely seen them throughout our session react to pressure.
Yes.
So I think anglers have got to know that when they come here, you know, if one area is hemmed in and everyone is there, by all means, scout the quiet areas. The fish do show. They're not, sometimes they're quite subtle, the shows, aren't they? Yeah. A bit of fizzing and stuff like that. So obviously, you know, you've always got to keep your eyes peeled. It really is your typical Cotswold venue, isn't it? You know, there's some stunning scaly fish in there, there really is. Mine will probably come tonight, I think. I hope, should I say.
You got a good feeling about this, man, to be fair.
It's one of them venues you do feel you have to work for it. I mean, you can come and get lucky, I'm sure. And Lee said some people have had red letter sessions, sort of 10, 12 fish in 24 hours, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
If I can get a 30-pound Cotswold scaly and a picture of him next to me, I'll be mate. That will be going on the mantelpiece, and she won't have a thing to say about it.
Yeah.
So, final morning here at Horcott, and a misty one it is as well. So, nothing really to report through tonight, you know. After having a couple of fish yesterday, we was all buzzing, ready for the anticipation of the night, and nothing apart from a great night's sleep. However, first, I don't know, 5:15 this morning, 5:30, Alex ran out to his rod, and unfortunately, I don't know, he had a bit of a dodgy pickup and no carp anyway. But his rods have gone back out just in time for this mist to set in, because now he wouldn't be able to see what he's doing. But we've got a few hours, hopefully this will burn off, and we'll see what happens. So.
Come on!
Absolutely buzzing. So Alex had a nice one this morning. Conway just put back, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, half hour ago. And then we saw some fizzing out in the sort of the main body of the lake off swim 16. And it was typical, it looks like an area I baited yesterday. Oh, I don't like the weed. So I just managed to get a single half close, not bang on to be honest with you. And while we was just sitting there fiddling around, one bleep come from the swim down to the right where my other two rods are in this bay. So I just had a wander to look, and as I got here, it just bolted off and kiting it. It's just weed bed to weed bed. And it's always a nerve-wracking time when you're playing fish in the weed, isn't it? But so I'm absolutely gutted. And as soon as I said there were snags to the left, it found the snags. It was like it was listening, and it was a chunk. No, it weren't. It was again another lovely common. See twisting and turning, maybe mid up or double, something like that. But losing a fish is never great, regardless of size, is it? So. Come back, lick your wounds, ready another bag and get it back out there, because we've still got a few hours to go, and fingers crossed, me or Alex are going to get one of these special ones to show you, because there's a lot in there. And then I heard a bleep, and I sort of said, oh, is your GoPro on? Because the GoPro and the sirens make a very similar noise. And he's like, I don't think so. And then we heard a few more bleeps, so I had a look, and yeah, I was away. And this is the rod that I've cast out long onto showing fish earlier, so it does show you, stay vigilant and don't be afraid to come off bait. Whew. Well, we started this session with Alex catching one and using my net, and we've probably ended the session, but you never know, there's still rods in the pond, and I've used these net. They're Sweet Justice, and after I've worked hard from that swim from open water. So now we've got 2 fish to deal with, and we'll show you. You are a gnarly beast, my friend. You're an angry beast as well. And Alex is going to love every minute of this. How about that? 25.4, I think it went on the scales. Incredible looking common, look at that, a real chunk of gold. Absolutely made up. My first and only fish out of open water from Peg 16. I feel like I angled fairly hard for this one. And at the end of the day, it was a PVA bag on fizzers, out as far as I could go really. Absolutely made up. Colossal fish, fantastic trip with Alex and Lee. Yeah. Thank you very much, Horcott. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do. Book yourself on, you won't be disappointed. Let's get you back, buddy, eh?